Well, hello, my friends. Happy Monday. Today, I thought we would do something y'all have been requesting, and I want to do it here. That way I can really talk in depth about it. I might do a little mini tutorial on it later, but let's really talk about it in depth. And that is pressing your eyeshadow in instead of swiping. We're going to do one eye pressing, one eye swiping. Before we get started, it is 1 week until Ben's birthday, and the next day is my birthday. So Ben's birthday is on Halloween, and mine's on November 1st, birthday time. So this tutorial is just going to be about eyes, but it's going to be very in-depth. So put on your makeup seatbelts. I'm so excited. So the first thing we're going to talk about is eyeshadow base and how much we put on. So I have some here on the lid, and we're going to pick up that much. I love how you can see how much is on my brush, and it's focused. So that's how much we're going to use for each eye. I'm going to start at my lash line and work it towards my brow bone. I also want you to notice that I do actually use eyeshadow primer, and maybe we should do a comparison between this and concealer. I think we'll do that. So eyeshadow primers are designed to stay tacky. A lot of times our concealers can dry down. This stays tacky until you set it. And that means you're going to get a more even blend. I'm not going to worry about the shadow sticking here, but not sticking here. I'm also going to zoom you in so you can see how thin this is across my lid. This one in particular, this base in particular, is very pigmented. And you just want to make sure it's nice and even all across the eye. It needs to be completely even. So I'm just going to grab a popular concealer that I know a lot of people use for eyeshadow base, and Tarte Shape Tape. This is the original. And that should be about right. Of course, I switch brushes for my demo always. I'm sure by now y'all know that. But it is the same brush, C31. I wonder if y'all know if I'm jumping ahead, because even when I'm applying this, I'm still pressing. I want to show you what, I guess I should, I guess I should show you what swiping would do. Obviously you can see it's not going to coat it, and now we don't have that same coverage. I mean, you can see it there and you can see it there. So that's why we're pressing. I mean, I guess we're already seeing a difference. I'm going to go ahead and tag the brush. This brush is just so perfect for pressing. But again, this is my swiping eye. So we're just going to swipe it out over here. And I can already feel that this one is already drying down as opposed to this one, which this one is going to crease, but it's not going to crease once you're pressing that shadow into it. It's made for the technique that we do every day here. I always like to mention that if you are doing something and it's different from my technique, as long as it's working, it's working. Please never feel like I am forcing a certain technique on you, or what I do is the only way to do things. Only take my advice if things are not working for you. If you need help and you're looking, y'all know I'm so careful. I just never want y'all to feel like what I do is the only way to do it. If you're struggling, that's what my techniques are for. If you need help, I'm here to help. If it's already working, please continue to do exactly what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to use one of my favorite palettes. I love this formula. I know how these mattes blend. Beautiful, flawless. We love them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pressing on this side. I'm going to grab this shade right here. And again, even how I go into the eyeshadow is very different than some of the videos that I used to watch. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to start to set this top part of the crease. You're also going to notice that I picked up a very small amount. And the reason why for that is because I really like to build my shadows instead of just going in and then having to really figure out where I'm going to place all of that pigment. When we pick up too much on the brush and then place it on the eye, then we have to continue to blend and kind of just keep going and going and going. And that can lead to patchiness and over blending. We're going to show you. And also remember, whenever I'm doing something, I'm showing you what I used to do and it wasn't working for me. I'm never saying that this is what other people are doing and it's not working. This is just what I used to do and I couldn't get the blend that I wanted. So what I would do is I would load up my brush and I would probably just put it everywhere. Okay, we're gonna look at this. That is quite a bit of pigment on my brush and it's everywhere. Even this, that's not good. It's bad. That was bad for me. You're also gonna notice that I never tap brushes. I feel that I like that. You'll notice that I don't do that, and the reason why is because I'm just very deliberate with how much I'm picking up on my brush. So again, I wouldn't even tap. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what? Sometimes I still wonder if I know what I'm doing. But I would even hold the brush here, okay, instead of back here. So I would hold it here, I would take it, and then I would just start to do like this. And I couldn't figure out why it was, see how it's just absolutely out of control. So it's too far up here, too far up here. Again, I can even show you how to fix this, but we're gonna move, but I digress. I'm actually just gonna use what's left over here and build this up a little bit more. And you know, most of my time was spent taking off my makeup and taking it off with my own tears. And then I would continue to blend this and I would just keep blending. And you can already see some patchiness coming through right here, right there. And when you put this much product on your eye, all you want to do is kind of keep blending because you're going, this has to go somewhere, but it's not going to go anywhere. You're just going to kind of keep doing this until you start to get more patchy areas in the shadow. There we go. Now I got it to focus. So you'll notice it's just on the very tip of the brush. And from here, I'm just going to tilt my head back. And again, I'm just going to press this through here, still pressing. That's actually Douglas snoring. Douglas is my doggy. Jean's downstairs with his granny. And then I'm gonna use whatever's left and just kind of twirl it over this way, still pressing. I am lifting the brush as I do this. It might not look like it, but I am. And you'll notice how far back I'm holding it. And then I'll take the side and just smooth them together. No patchiness. So beautifully blended in less than a minute. Okay, so now we're gonna do it the way I used to do it. It was a rough time. So then I would just grab, just willy-nilly, I'd probably just do that. It feels so awkward now. I don't even think I would realize where I was placing the brush. So now, even with this much on my brush, I want to place it this way, but I don't even think I would realize that if we flip that towards the ceiling, I could have more control. Notice that the product right here on the brush, again, this is too much, but I'm showing you it's on the one side, and then I could flip it and have more control in here. I don't know what I would do. What would I do? What did I used to do? I think I would not even notice where it was. I might even come in sideways. I mean, I just didn't even know. And then I would just come in here, and then I would start to blend, and then when I would think, I mean, you see that? I just wouldn't, I didn't know. Nobody told me. And then I would panic because even right now, the first reaction I wanted to do was to wipe this on Sheila, but that's not what I would have done. And then my next reaction would have just been to choke up on the brush like this, and then just kind of keep blending. Ooh, I even wanted to do a circular motion. I wouldn't have known to do that back then. And then I would just keep on. And then now we have way too much. And we're patchy. And then I would still want to continue to blend. So I'm just going to keep blending, and you're going to see that the more I blend, the more patchy it's going to become. So I'm just going to use what's left here and just continue to darken up the socket because there's so much product on the brush still. Again, I'm kind of pushing it in there. No, it doesn't hurt. I'm doing it very delicately. And then I'll just use the side to kind of melt it together a little bit more. Look at that blend. I wish somebody would have told me. So now we're still going to use the darkest shade in the palette, which is this one right here. And I'm going to pick it up on the tip of the brush because we're going to finish this eye. And also I'll overblend this one in a second and you can see the difference in that. We'll kind of just go to town on this eye, but let's finish it so we can see the difference in the technique. So again, we'll push this one in the deepest part. And I'll stop about right there. Still using the tip of the brush, picking up more of that shade, the same dark brown, and it's such a small amount. I don't know where that sparkle came from. I am sparkles. And now I'm just going to press it out this way. And then use the side of the brush to smooth. Now let's do the same thing over here. Well, not the same thing, but let's do the same color. Again, I don't even know. I don't even know where I would have grabbed it. It's been so long. Probably both on the tip of the brush, you can see it there. And then I would have grabbed it on the side of the brush as well. And then I would have said, why does this not look like the pictures that I'm trying to emulate? But I'm gonna keep on adding shadow, and then I would have just probably tried my best to kind of keep it in here. That feels about right. No, because I'm already wanting to control it more. Yeah, that feels about right. And then everything that I did would just turn into a major smoky, splotchy this. So then I probably would have grabbed a brush this fluffy and I would have just kind of keep blending. And I would have said, why? Why me? Why? And then as you can see, it's not working out for us. And you know, the main thing, it's not always the swiping, but the main thing that we all need to focus on is how much product we are picking up on our brush. Now, if we want to darken this eye up a little bit more, we can. I grab that dark shade and we'll just press it over this way. But we're just picking up very small amounts. We're very conscientious of how much and exactly where we're placing it. So we could make this as smoky as we wanted it, but it's always better to build than it is to just kind of dig in here and then just go back and forth. Even if you are having a harder time with tapping and swiping is still working, just be more thoughtful about how much you're picking up on your brush. So now I think I would have just used my finger. I'm gonna grab this shimmer and then I would have just kind of went back and forth. And I've always had long nails, so I can't say that that's hindering me, but I'm also just trying to blend it with that. And then I would take my brush and then I would just kind of try to smooth it, and then I wouldn't, see, I'm still holding it the way I want to hold it. I would have held it here, and then I would have just keep scribbling in a sense. And then, ooh, it is pretty when you blend it out, but it's still going up too far and kind of becoming patchy and just kind of melting into this in the not pretty fun way that I prefer these days. And then nowadays, I would grab a little bit extra of my base, my clean canvas base, the eye base, not concealer. because it's going to stay tacky. And when things are tacky, that means shimmer is going to stick to it. So I'm just going to make sure this is nice and coated. See, that's why this right here is so important. Why I should have checked where I grabbed that. That's too far on the tip of the brush. I'm just gonna wipe that on my arm. And then I'm gonna smush that in there. There we go. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't a cut crease. And then nowadays, I would grab this color right here on an E28, but with my shimmers, and I talk about this often, with my shimmers, I pick up quite a bit of product. And the reason why is because when you go to lay this down, you want to just press it and pull it, and you want to set it as quickly as possible. Now we're going to build this up just like we do the mattes, but you need quite a bit to set it first. That way you have a nice, smooth, even layer, and then you build up. And you have so much more control. That's so pretty. And you have less fallout because you have a tacky base grabbing all of that. So then you have less shimmer all over your face. You know what I am gonna do, because I like this effect, but just more controlled. I'm gonna take whatever's left here on the brush and just kind of do that really pretty floating lanterns look. That's so pretty. Zoom you in. So pretty. So once I'm done here, I am going to film a video on how I would correct what we're doing here, but let's go ahead and mess this eye up, because I want you to notice that even though I am using a base that I prefer, over blending can really, and applying too much product can really mess up eyeshadow no matter what. So I'm gonna grab this shade, and I'm grabbing it on the fluffier E29, and oh, this would have been so pretty if we added a wing. And then I'm just gonna come in here and start to really blend. And I'm gonna show y'all how to fix this too. Like I said, I'm excited to film that video because it can be saved. Just keep blending. I can already see some patchiness starting there. It's just because no matter what, brushes are just gonna start to lift that product. Now I just grabbed a bunch of the dark brown, and then I'm gonna try to do this in here. I will say that clean canvas is still smoother. I'm telling you, eyeshadow base really does make a difference. I know even I thought for a very long time, that's a gimmick. It's built for the eye area. The way eyeshadow lays on top of it, it's just so smooth. Eyeshadow wants to stick to it evenly. So it is gonna look smoother. But there is some patchiness happening. I would just keep blending. I don't know what I was doing. I was blending for my life. I feel like this side has more of the dark brown. Let's go ahead and add more and see what happens. I still feel like eyeshadow base side is just trying. It's trying its best. Let me pick up more. I feel like I'm not picking up enough. And then sometimes I will say, once you start trying to add more, then it just gets worse and worse. And then it'll also become very gray, and that's what happens. This side is better though. I like that fairy dust looking stuff. That's pretty. Moral of the story: more than even pressing, swiping, all of that, just be mindful how much you're picking up on your brush, and be mindful where you are picking up that product on the brush. Oh, and the other thing we learned is eyeshadow base. It really does make a difference. And I've tried all of the bases, all of them, and my favorite is still Clean Canvas. It's just absolutely wonderful. I have a code, but I'm actually not making money off that code. I actually donate with that code. So if you are in the market for an eyeshadow base and you don't have one that you love, that's my favorite. I feel like this side has more of this color. I'm just gonna keep adding it. And then I'm gonna fix it. I'm excited for that. I wouldn't have known how to fix it back then. So really quickly, I just wanted to zoom you in so you could see this patchiness that seemed to happen here. That's what used to always happen to me when I was doing the technique. There's some patchiness here. There is. Ah! Here it is. But I will say that, again, here's some too. Eyeshadow base. It's good stuff. Now, I think we learned something here today. Did we learn something? I hope we learned something. I am going to hop off and film that. I think that's going to be it for today, but I have some really fun content coming. One involves applying this. I'm going to show it to you. Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to post today. And then another one is another part of my foundation series. If you have not seen my foundation and concealer series, please do. Just go find it. I'm actually going to start reposting it here because I feel a lot of you missed it. And it's probably one of the most helpful series about makeup that even I have ever seen. And then I'm also going to, again, hop off. I'm going to film this. And this is going to be extremely helpful because when we are still learning about makeup, about picking up product, about different techniques that work for us, when we're learning about that, there's still going to be some trial and error. Okay, and I can show you how to fix this and how to, even this, we'll do this one because it looks worse. I can show you how to make it work. Okay, that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow we'll do a full masterclass like we always do, but I just feel that this was being asked about quite a bit. So this will be definitely saved to my highlights, absolutely saved to my highlights. And maybe I'll even put it on my page, we'll see. I love you all so much and thank you for watching my tutorials. I appreciate all of you so much. And now all of you are sharing my content right now. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I love you all with all of my heart. And I will see you tonight in the comments. I love this so much. Let me show you how to use this now in 2022. It's about skin prep. This wasn't the skin prep that I needed. In the meantime, we're going to use a serum. We need something that's going to make our skin have grab. This actually reminds me of the viral foundation whipping that's going on right now. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it all over my face. That's going to be enough for the entire face. I'm just using one finger. We're just going to smooth it out on the skin. This foundation needs to be warmed up. So we really were onto something when we were using our hands. We just didn't know that we needed a brush too to really smooth it out. And look, it matches. I'm not orange. It didn't look like this on me in 2006. Concealer only under my eyes. Look at how nice this looks. So smooth. I just didn't know how to use it.